Okay, so somebody in the comments was questioning my claim of my body rejecting HIV twice, which is valid. That is a wild statement. Even knowing my life, that is a wild thing to have happen, but it has. So, story time. We're going to talk about those two instances, which I believe that I've spoken before, but people forget. So, when I married in 2004, I was 19, and the person that I married was somebody that I didn't really know. See, they had lied to me about every single aspect of their existence, everything. And in the years that we were together, they were on drugs that I didn't know about. They were with people that I didn't know about. About a month before I left them, I was at home and a woman knocked on the door. And she told me that she had been sleeping with my husband and that she had just been diagnosed with HIV, and she was letting all of her partners know. When they got home, I told them about that, and there was a big fight. They insisted that they had never slept with this woman, did not know who I was talking about, not possible. No, I'm a liar. I'm crazy. I'm making things up. I was having blackouts at the time. I was having delusions. So we both just assumed I hallucinated this woman to give myself a reason to be mad at him. About a month later, I came home and found them in bed with another woman, and they were both naked. They tried to say they were naked because it was hot. I'm an adult woman, so I left. And about 6 months after that, they informed me that they had been diagnosed with HIV. They were selling their blood and received a letter in the mail that they could no longer do that because of the diagnosis. They don't know where it came from. They don't know who gave it to them, who they might have given it to. They don't know. It's very, very possible that the woman that I might have imagined wasn't imaginary. And if so, that means that my husband had been exposed to or had HIV for a good while, maybe half a year, before I stopped interacting with them, before I left. And I know that they're not lying about that diagnosis because we were friends, and I used to take them to the Rainbow Clinic, and they were on medication. Their diagnosis was valid. I've been tested. I have not come up positive. That's not in my system. And they say that it can lie dormant in your system for 10 years. The threshold from my first spouse is past the 10 years now. But the second time is still a possibility. In 2017, I dated a man who had HIV, and he forced himself on me one night while he was drunk. And he took me to the emergency room, and they started me on a medication, PrEP. And they said that if you start taking this medication within 72 hours of contact with the virus, it can eradicate it from your system. But you have to take the full course, I think it was like a month's worth of medication. This man left me for another woman a couple of days after this incident. And I stopped taking the medication because I decided that I wanted to die. I know for a fact that this man did have HIV. I spoke to doctors. I it was very clear. He was on medication. They put me on the medication. This man was diagnosed and had HIV and had unprotected sex with me in 2017. And I have been tested repeatedly since then, and it has been coming back negative. So once you're first tested for that, it is automatically put into your lab work. I noticed that the last lab work they gave me, they tested me for it. It was one of the many things that they were testing me for. Because I was tested for it here in California, every time they do my lab work here in California, they're going to be testing me to make sure that I'm still coming up negative. So as of last month, when these last tests came back, I am still negative. Now, this happened in 2017, so the 10-year threshold isn't going to be passed until 2027, but it's 2 years. And it doesn't seem likely that that's what the problem is, since I am coming up negative on all the tests. So when I say that my body has rejected HIV twice, it's because I have been in contact with the virus twice in my life and did not get sick for some reason. I don't know why. And it's still, again, the last was in 2017. It's a 10-year threshold. There's still 2 years before I'm 100% clear. But if that was what was making me sick, it would have been found. Like, it's not going to be killing me and be unfindable in my system. If it's there, it's there. If it's dormant, it's not doing anything. It's not making me sick. So that's that situation. Okay, since I know people like to question everything that I say, I wanted to show y'all that they are automatically testing me for HIV whenever they send in these tests to the assessment plan orders. This is what they were sending my blood to be tested for. And this most recent test happened. It didn't happen on the 2nd because this is the time I went in and I had the low blood pressure, but it happened a week later, and I've already gotten those results, and everything was clear except that the iron was low. And so obviously, if it had come back and said that I was HIV positive, that would have been, they would have said something. So if y'all are wondering how I know that they are testing it automatically every single time, it's because I have this paperwork right here that is saying what is being tested. And we didn't discuss HIV during that session. We haven't discussed it since I was first tested in 2017. So this is it's just automatically tested every time they send in my blood.